guys, and welcome back to my channel. And are we not loving this purple lip? Is that not gorgeous? But yeah, since I've got some time to kill because I'm waiting for my doctor's appointment because we get to hear the baby's heartbeat, I thought I'd go ahead and film a little bit of a story time video, just kind of telling you guys about just some creepy things that have been happening in my house since we moved in. And this is stuff that I don't want to talk about like while I'm in the house because, like, okay, this probably sounds nuts to some people, but I truly do believe in, like, spirits and ghosts and all that stuff. Like, I've had too many experiences in my life not to believe in this stuff. And I just feel like when I talk about it, like, where it's happening, it's like, whatever it is, I just feel like then they know that I know that they're there. Does that make any sense? Okay, so, like, I don't like to talk about it in my house when I've got things going on because I don't want to make it like, no, you know? Okay, so, anyways, for those of you who don't know, and I feel like I've been saying this so much in my videos lately, we inherited my grandparents' house and moved into it last June. So it's coming up on a year here before too long, 6 more months. And my grandpa passed away in the house. I think he passed away in 2000 or 2001. And yeah, he passed away right there in the front living room. His health had really declined, really gotten bad, and my grandma was taking care of him, and they like set up like a hospital bed in the living room so that he could like see the TV and stuff, and that's where he passed away. Well, and I think I touched on this a little bit because I was making ghost story videos for Halloween and stuff. So, hold on a sec. So yeah, when we first moved in, we had some just weird random things happening. Like when my grandpa first passed away, my grandma said that she would find random nails just everywhere. What is that on my, what is that? Like, right? Like the oh, I think that's bird poop on my back window. Maybe. Oh. It is bird poop and it's on my window. I thought that was like in the sky and I was like, what the fuck is that? Okay. So anyways, yeah, there was instances after he passed away where she would just find random nails laying around in like the most random places, and her radio would just turn on randomly for no reason in the middle of the night, which I remember staying the night with her one time after he'd passed away, and the alarm clock in the spare bedroom, which nobody ever slept in except for me when I came to stay the night with Grandma, turned on in the middle of the night, like for no good reason, and that scared the bejeebus out of me, like, oh my goodness. So anyways, since we've moved into the house, we had some random things happen when we were cleaning out the house and getting ready to move our stuff in. I started finding random screws all over the house. Like, I would find a random screw sitting on my coffee table, or like my mom and I had left out the front door and we came back, we went to do something, came back, we're coming back inside, and I found a screw on my front step. Like, I would have noticed that when I left. Or I found a screw on my basement stairs. Like, I went downstairs to do some laundry or something, and it was like this big white nail, or maybe it was a black nail. I know it like was completely different colored from the steps. I think our stairs are white, or are they gray? Man, I don't remember. But anyways, it was like a completely different color from like the steps in our basement, and like it's something that like really popped on the stairs. And like I went downstairs to do something. I was either getting laundry or I don't know what I was doing. But I turned around to come back upstairs, and there's a screw. And just, you know, finding them sitting in the middle of the floor, just at random places. Which that's how Grandma was finding the nails after he first passed away. And then there was another time when my mom and I were trying to move things around, clean things out so that Mike and I could move in. And we were out in the garage, which was like my grandpa's space. And we were in there doing whatever, and then out of nowhere, like, the door just like blows itself open really hard. And like, it's not a windy day. This is completely like, you know, what caused that type of thing. But we just kind of laughed it off. Oh, you know, it's the wind or whatever, just try to ignore it. Which my mom is like super tuned into like supernatural types of things too, and she's had things happen as well. But is that Mike? No. I'm waiting for my husband to meet me here at the hospital, so, and he doesn't really know where he's going. So that happened, and then she goes to, like, we get down in the garage. I'm on the other side of the garage from her, and we have like a 2-car garage, so it's fairly big. And she goes and walks out of the door, and I'm heading that direction, and then I start hearing these heavy footsteps along by the garage door, and I can see my mom, like, she's nowhere near it, and it sounds like Grandpa's footsteps. He wore these big black orthopedic shoes because he had problems walking and balance, and they were like really big, and they just had a distinct sound to them, and it's exactly what it sounded like. It was like Grandpa was walking around the garage. And I walk outside, like, turn around the corner of my garage, expecting to see, like, somebody in the back alley or something. There's nobody there. I asked my mom, and she's like, no, I didn't hear anything. There's nobody there. But, like, oh, I heard it. I distinctly heard the footsteps. So, and then I told my mom about what was going on, about, like, finding the nails and then the footsteps. And then she had an instance when we very first, Grandma had to go to the nursing home, and we went over to her house to clean out all of her perishables from her fridge because we knew she was going to be in there, like, for 90 days and things were going to go bad and stuff. So we were in there cleaning stuff out, and she turned around and looked, and she thought she'd seen a man on the back porch, which at the time there was a door with a window on it that separated the back porch from the hallway, and then on the back porch was the back door. We've since taken that door down because there's not really a need for it, and we kind of like just having the open space. But there had been, like, a window in this door here, and she thought she'd seen a man on the back porch, and we freaked out and got out of there, like, left. And we had my dad come by after he got home from work, and, like, he checked all of the entrances. Everything was locked up. There was no way anybody had gotten in. He went inside and looked around. Nobody was in there. Just freaky. Well, Mom, like, after everything happened, like, that was the very first instance that happened, and then we had the screws, and we had, the footsteps and all that stuff. Well, Mom just went in the house and was like, look, Grandpa, well, she called him Dad, but it wasn't her dad, it was my dad's dad, but, look, Dad, Mom's had to go to the nursing home, she's okay, but Kristen and Mike are moving in, and she just went in and, like, pretty much said what was going on, which, personally, I mean, even if it is my grandpa, like, I don't want to have anything to do with spirits or communicating with them. Like, I'm not interested in that. The Bible says you're not supposed to get involved with that stuff. And so, I don't want to. And, though I don't have, like, a menacing feeling or anything like that, I don't really get a comforting feeling either, which is weird because I'd seen my great-great-grandmother after she passed, and it was a really comforting experience. But with the stuff going on with my grandpa, like, I don't really get any vibes other than he's there. But, and plus having weird things happen. Like, if weird things didn't happen, like, I probably wouldn't even really feel much. It's weird. But most recently, we started cleaning out the front bedroom for the nursery, which happened to be his bedroom, because before he got really, really sick, he started getting really sick. He started having problems with bladder control, and so him and Grandma decided to sleep in separate rooms for obvious reasons, and so he took the front room, and all his stuff was in there and all that, so we're cleaning that out to make it into the nursery, which his stuff has been cleaned out of there for years. After he passed away, Grandma moved into the front room because it's the bigger bedroom, and so it hasn't had any of his things in there for a long time. But we most recently started moving things out of there that we just had in there for storage. That room really just became a catch-all for us when we moved in, and just, like, anything we wanted to keep but didn't know what to do with it yet just kind of got thrown in that room. So we've been working on moving things out and cleaning things out. Well, we've started having things happen again. I had one instance where I was down in the basement, and I went down there stark naked because our washer and dryer is down there, and the outfit I wanted to wear was in the dryer, and so I just got out of bed and went down the basement to have any clothes on. Didn't take my cell phone, didn't have my gun on me, nothing, because, like, who thinks you're gonna need all that when you're just going down to the basement to put on some clothes? Well, I'm down there, and then I start hearing footsteps above me in the house. Scared the living heck out of me. I heard it from the living room to the dining room into the kitchen, and it's not the cats. I know what the cats sound like when they're running around upstairs. This was not the cats. This was like somebody with 2 feet walking around upstairs. And it just gets into, like, the kitchen, which is where the basement door is, and I'm just in the basement. Like, I got really quiet, just kind of backed up against the, like, washing machine, just, like, started putting my clothes on really quickly, and just expecting someone to start walking down my basement stairs. Like, I thought for sure somebody was in my house. And I stayed down there for like 10 minutes, just like frozen, quiet, like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. Like, seriously, I'm gonna freaking die. And nothing happens. And so finally I get the courage and go upstairs, and there's nobody there. Nothing. So that was great way to start the day. Then we had an instance where I was in the living room and I was like playing Sims. It's late at night, and so I'm just kind of gaming a little bit. Mike's already laying in bed, and we start hearing sounds in that spare room where the door is closed, and it sounds like somebody's in there moving furniture around. And I'm like, oh great, that's Grandpa. Like, just kind of trying to ignore it, sitting out in the living room, just like not paying any attention to it. And I go to bed, and Mike's like, did you hear all that? And I'm like, hear what? And he's like, in the spare room. He's like, were you in there moving stuff? And I'm like, no. And he's like, you had to have been. He's like, it sounded like somebody was moving really heavy furniture. And I was like, no, I was sitting out there playing Sims. I was not touching any of the furniture in there. And he was like, you have to be kidding. I'm like, no, that was probably Grandpa. And rolled over and went to sleep. And then I had, most recently, another instance with hearing somebody walking around upstairs when I went down to the basement. That time I had my phone on me. And the footsteps didn't go for as long. I only heard them through, like, the living room and dining room. And I just kind of chalked it up to being the same thing as happened last time. And Banjo was down in the basement with me, so I just grabbed him up and we went upstairs. And of course, there's nobody there. So, but yeah, that's been going on. And I thought I'd just share that with you guys because it's kind of creepy. I know some people kind of like that kind of stuff. And, I mean, if anything else happens, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, that would just make for a good storytime video. So I'm pretty sure our house is kind of haunted or slightly haunted. Oh, I also had something weird happen last night. I was laying in bed and it was about 4 in the morning, and I'd woken up because I got like this really big craving for a blue raspberry plushie. And when a craving like hits me, I'm like, I just lay there and I'm like, I want it, you know? Well, I started smelling the smell of like old Avon perfume, which is weird because, like, I mean, my grandpa didn't wear old Avon perfume, but my grandma had like collections of the old Avon bottles. None of them were open, but the perfume was all bad and nasty. It was like yellow in the bottle. But I just started smelling it, and I couldn't get away from the smell. And then, I don't know, probably a few minutes later, it just went away. So that was kind of weird and creepy. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap up the video for now. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.